back. Thanks for joining me again. I've had a few comments and questions around safety when boating in WA. So today I'm going to take you through some of the steps I follow on my boat and the safety gear that I've got on board and the process I go through before I take the boat out for a trip, whether it's just a little trip out into the Indian Ocean or I'm going down to Hillary's, Two Rocks, Rottnest Island, whatever it is. It's the same process, same safety gear checks. So join me. So one of the first things I check is to check the circuit breakers and power on the batteries. So currently off, checking all the breakers, they're all in good order. We're on the battery and we'll turn on to both batteries are on. We're good to go. Then we check the engine compartment and the bilge. And we just roll the carpet back. Easy access to the engine compartment. Lift the hatch and we'll put on the engine bay lights. We'll just check out the engine bay for anything obvious that we should be concerned about. All the pulleys and the belts look good. We'll just check the oil before we go. And we check the bilge as well for any water. We've just got a little bit of rainwater in there, which is not a problem. And we're done. Another one of the pre-departure checks that we do on Chillaxin is obviously taking out the shore power. So we've got to make sure we disconnect that effectively. So we have to make sure we take that off before we pull away. That's a little interlock connection there, and then we can disconnect that and take it away. And ignition on. So once I've done the initial checks, I then check the amount of fuel on board is sufficient for the trip out. And then I look at the Decky app, which is the app that's used for boaters to log on and log your plan with marine rescue. I then check the weather via multiple apps. I do have the LifeCell marine safety box unit here, which just clips on the back. I'll show you what's inside that shortly, but what we do have on the side is an EPIRB, and I'll show you that as well. So you may be asking, what is a LifeCell? This is what a LifeCell is, and basically you have your EPIRB attached to the side here, and inside is some really good safety equipment. Don't worry, it's not going to inflate into a life raft or anything like that. Got flares, some orange hand smoke flares here, and the expiry is 11/26, so they're still in date, which is great. And then I've got new ones already to swap them out with, and an inflatable in there with some rope. So that just goes on the back of the boat really conveniently, and as you can see, it's all plastic. It does float, so yep. And yeah, that just sits on the back of the boat, so we can grab it really easily in the case of emergency. We can get out of here. Okay, so on the side of the LifeCell, the holder there, this is the GME MT605G. It is GPS enabled and accurate to roughly around 100 meters, even more accurate once it gets a fix on you. It also has a radio frequency locator signal as well, so rescue crews can hone in on you and find you when they get closer to you as well. So yeah, great unit, mandatory for WA boating if you're going offshore. So that's the EPIRB. Okay, so the next piece of equipment is the life jacket. We run these Marlin L150s, level 150s. They do have assisted inflation, so there's a cartridge in here. When you pull this, it activates the cartridge and it'll inflate the life jacket. There is a pocket on this side as well, so you can put things in there if you need to, any critical things you must keep on you. So yeah, you want to keep these really easy, accessible and to hand. Don't hide them in your storage lockers or anything like that. You want it easy to put on, so you don't got to worry about it or think about it. Literally seconds. Okay, if you need to put it on, ideally you should have it on if you're going offshore anyway, regardless of the size of your vessel. Safety first. So yeah, so in here you've got the inflation area, the little gas cylinder, which you can obviously activate when you pull that. They are replaceable, so you can change them out if you do accidentally activate it. If you're if you go for you're slipping on the deck or something, you catch it or whatever. But yeah, so that's the level 150s, and like I said, you've got over here a little pocket area to put your stuff in. That's the life jacket. I've included the link to the Transport WA website, so you can follow that to get this information on life jacket requirements. It's really useful and really clear to understand. So yeah, if in any doubt, just visit the website and check it out, or check your local Department of Transport website for more information. So the other safety device we have on board Chillaxin is the VHF radio. This I fitted this, replaced the old Navman radio with a GME, so it's all new and working order. It works really effectively. Normally when I do my radio checks when I go out of the harbour in Mindarie Marina, I get 5x5 from the marine rescue team. So yeah, great little device. Channel 16 is the emergency channel, so you can just hit that if you need assistance. And just for reference, when you press channel 16, the distress channel for VHF radio, there is a mayday procedure or a pan-pan procedure when on the radio. So definitely check out the WA Transport website for more information on what that procedure looks like, and make yourself familiar with it. It's better to know in advance. Another thing I like to check before I head out is the trim tabs and the leg. So I just have a quick look over here and see what's going on. Yeah, everything looks good. And then I'll come around this side and do the same. I'll check this trim tab here. Looks good, it's in the up position, and obviously check out the leg as well. Nothing obvious to be concerned about there. And then it's onto the lines. Checking the lines, ready for departure. I'll prep these up ready and swap them around so I keep my side line on. And yeah, undo the lines and get going. I also like to check my fenders as well. Just when we come into dock, we don't want to be rushing or panicking trying to free them if they've got a little bit jammed up or whatever. So just check they're in, free, easy to get to, tied on, easy to move around as well. The other area I like to check from a safety perspective is the anchor, making sure it's not fouled, it's free to come out if as and when required. But yeah, I think we're looking good. I also do a visual inspection on the cleats, just to make sure that they're safe and secure. I have previously lost a cleat on the back when I was bringing the boat into dock in Two Rocks. Literally, I pulled it back in. I was literally just putting the rope, the mooring rope, through the cleat, and as I wiggled the rope, the cleat just popped out. So yeah, you wouldn't want that happening if you're in a bit of wind or a bit of chop and you're tying up somewhere. So yeah, I just give it all a bit of a visual inspection just to check it's physically good, and yeah, just take the risk out of it. Thanks for joining me this week. Hopefully that's been informative around the safety gear that I use on Chillaxin. If you'd like any more information around any of the equipment or the procedures that I follow, drop a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Until next time, stay safe and enjoy your boating. Take care. Bye.